What is going on? What is going on? So I've been thinking here. I was sitting here today, and I was thinking like I've been all across America. Been to probably over 30 amusement parks. Once again, I'm not big on numbers, so I'm just shooting numbers off the top of the brain. But RMC is by far my favorite manufacturer of roller coaster collections. So I figured I'd do a top five video. My top five, anyways. So stay tuned. I'm gonna go over my top five videos. I'm gonna go over my top five roller coasters. And I'm going to tell you why they're my top five coasters. Stay tuned. Let's jump straight into this. At number 5, we have RMC. RMC is great, but it's just too short for my liking. And the drop is great, you know, the elements is great. They really hit like they're supposed to. But my overall ranking of this ride dropped down tremendously because of just the ride length. It brings in too much force at the end of the ride. And you hit no brake run. You're like, whoa, what's the rest of the ride at? But if it wasn't for that, this ride would be ranked very, 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 very higher up in my rankings. Speaking of the drop brings you up at 205 feet, I believe, in like 91 degrees. Don't quote me if I'm wrong. If you do, drop it in the comments. But the drop is insane. You come down the drop, then you come and hit this half bank turn. It is amazing. The laterals, the whips, all the emotions it brings out of you, the joy. But my best part of the ride is the roll. I think it's called the alligator roll, the Samoa's roll, whatever roll you, jelly roll you want to be call it to be. But another hit of this ride is also the wave turn. The wave turn is amazing. Overall, I give this ride a 8 out of 10. It would be ranked higher in my rankings once again if it was a tad bit longer. Speaking of ride length, the next one on my list is number 4. Air Force One isn't that long. The ride duration is just a little over a minute, and the height is not even that impressive, but the ride is insane. You drop down at 146 feet. But let's get into the best part. Oh my gosh, that dang gone. I do not know how in them loop, whatever it is you want to be, flip around, you hit, turn around good. And let's talk about that hang time right there. That hang time is amazing. But this ride is actually a great ride. Every time I go into this park, I be like, what is this coaster doing here? It's short and sweet, but you got Six Flags right up the street from here, and we got this amazing coaster, as some people say, arguably the best coaster in Atlanta without a doubt. But Air Force One is amazing. It's very intense, powerful, packed, and laterals. Don't get me started. I gotta make another trip down there ASAP. This ride is straight insane. And watch out for your knees right there. Just kidding. Coming in at number 3 is Railblazer. Railblazer in Great America doesn't deserve, like, oh my gosh, it doesn't deserve this position I put it in, because I put it at number 3 due to the fact of I haven't had many rides on this ride, but it's truly probably up there, at least my number 2, and possibly challenging my number 1, to be honest with you. But due to the only amount of rides that I got on it, I have to put it at number 3. But this ride is so amazing. It's not that tall, but it packs so much power in this little layout. The more coasters I ride, the more that I'm learning that I love tight layouts. Tight layouts is so great, better than the big, larger drone layouts, in my opinion. But this ride it stands at 106 feet tall. The drop is 100 feet. But if you ride in the back, you get this insane whip over top of this first drop right here. Let me tell you, that thing is amazing. The whole whip and the pacing on this ride, oh my gosh, it is exhilarating. Man, this thing just whips and blazes through the course. Like, oh, when I first rode this and got off of it, I was 100% speechless. We sit here and looked at this ride like 20 minutes just from off the ground. I'm like, how is this thing even illegal? I promise you, this video you see right now is not sped up. That's why I got the mini video actually from Great America. But this thing is absolutely insane. Dun 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 dun. Coming in at number 2, Still Vengeance. This ride will always remain true to me, to my heart and soul, due to the fact that it has so much sentimental value to me, because this is one of my first hypers I ever ridden RMCs. I think it was back in 2018, 2019. I always seen the video, but I finally took a trip up there and I rode this thing. It absolutely blew me away. I really can't say enough about this ride, but my favorite part about this ride is the sheer amounts of airtime you get on this ride. And not just that, the actual ride length of this ride is so great. It leaves you wanting for not more. Like, it at the end of this ride, when you hit the brake run, you're there. Like, it was it. That first drop is insane. That speed hill is insane. This outer bank turn is insane. I'm not hyping this up. I'm telling you, it's insane. I'm not a Steel Vengeance hater. This ride is amazing on every scale that you possibly could think of. It has the speed, it has the length, it has the airtime, it has the inversions, it has the near miss calls when you go down to the second half of the ride of the structure. This ride just the straight powerhouse, and it delivers. Let's not mention, if you get lucky, if you come up on this mid-course brake run and you don't hit trims, which is a very rare mode and timing that it does happens, but it makes the ride even more magnificent, especially at night. I'm gonna add that in there too, because when you come to this section right here and you drop down right here, oh my gosh, into the structure, you do not know which way you're going unless you're riding in the front row, and it's still a little confusing at times if you're not real familiar with the ride layout. But the way it ducks in and out the ride structure, it is amazing. And the pops of airtime and the few inversions that you get inside of the structure, it doesn't really feel like you're upside down. It's kind of really hard to tell you because you're like just all over the place. You really honestly don't know what's happening to you. Like in this video, you can kind of tell because you got time to process it. But if you own Steel Vengeance, your brain do not have time to process this ride until you hit the brake run. Coming in at my number one spot, dun 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 dun, Wildcat Revenge. Woof, let me tell you, this is my most ridden RMC to the date, due to the fact that I really enjoyed this ride too freaking much. It's not the tallest, it's not the fastest, it's not the steepest, blah blah blah. Although records those records don't count. So I'll be telling people, and the height and speed don't always come into play neither, because this ride just straight knocks it out the park. Whew. Oh my gosh. If you like intense RMCs, this is the one for you. I know it doesn't look that appealing to you when you walk into a booth. When you get off, it's gonna leave your mind blown. This drop, the whip in the back row is amazing. And this flip, underflip, whatever you call it, oh my gosh, it's amazing. And this ride delivers with the laterals also. And the airtime is so strong on this ride. You actually get airtime in the turns on this ride. It's hard to explain. You got to experience this yourself. I have ridden this coaster right here at least 70 times. Like, my track record on here is insane. And I haven't been to Hershey Park that many times since it's open. I just spent so much time at this roller coaster right here. This RMC, whoever designed this RMC, this guy is money. Like, the future in the RMCs, I really feel like it's gonna be in good hands if they keep continuing dropping them out like this. But this ride is amazing. So if I give it a number, 10 out of 10. This ride will slap you out the seat.